Welcome everybody to another edition of WCW 2006 here in TEW 2020, as it's time for the go-home shows for Superbrawl. As first we start with Nitro live from the beautiful Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, just down the road from New York City itself. Well, I guess it's officially part of New York City, but what can you say? No pre-show stuff, just vote in the awards. I've got my usual pre-pay-per-view, see what matches people are interested in. But after that, let's get on to the actual show. We start, of course, with a big graphic, putting over the fact it's going to be a big main event, as WCW World Champion AJ Styles teams up with Man Goldberg as they face off against their opponents, Jeff Jarrett and Alex Wright, tonight in the main event of Nitro. And then we go to the ring for our opening match, which is another bit of a preview match, as we've got Booker T and Shelton Benjamin, the World Tag Team Champions, teaming up with WWE Cruiserweight Champion Maverick Chance as they take on Reckless Roberts and Ninkyo. And this is your very typical, opening match preview, go home show match. Everyone gets their spots in. Maverick and Reckless gets to, throw some stuff out there. Maverick with a big dive. Reckless Roberts taking people down. Shelton is able to hit some big suplexes and look impressive. Booker T and does some brawling. Kaz gets to knock the heads off people. Yang goes after actually Maverick Chance a bit before Shelton Benjamin, and we get Shelton Benjamin and Yang going after each other. Kaz and Shelton going after each other. Things break down, and eventually Kaz is able to kick Shelton right in the head and gets a pinfall victory for Ninkyo in a little bit under 10 minutes. All action here. This gets a 79. Shelton gets an 84. Booker gets a 79, which tells you where Booker is as far as on the whole decline physical ability thing. Maverick Chance gets a 61. Yang gets an 82. Kaz gets a 97. Reckless Roberts gets 66. Good stuff as we continue the build for these big two matches at Superbrawl. And post-match, you get your heel celebrating as the announcers put over that you have a good chance of winning their back-to-tag titles, as Reckless Roberts has a good chance of becoming Cruiserweight Champion once again, with help from his sister, Tracy Roberts. Then we got backstage as Eric Bischoff is in his office, and in comes Brother Ray, and he says, "What the hell is going on, Eric? I was just told by somebody that Eddie Guerrero's not going to be at Superbrawl." And Bischoff was like, "Yeah, look, I was trying to contact you with you, but here's the reality. Eddie Guerrero is not medically cleared to compete at Superbrawl because he suffered a concussion, and as much as you want this match, he cannot be cleared for this match. And I'm not going to let somebody who's not medically cleared to compete in a match at Superbrawl, no matter how big of a match it is." And Ray's pissed. He's like, "Are you kidding me, Eric? After everything, after all this build-up, Eddie's going after me over and over again. He got his head hurts a little bit, and now he's out of the match. That's BS, Eric. There's no sign of respect towards me from you and everybody in WCW. I came here to prove a point. I want to wrestle. I was okay with fighting Eddie." Sorry if that was just a big bump everybody just heard, because I accidentally bumped my mic. My bad. He says, he wants competition, and he wants to destroy somebody at Superbrawl. So you better find somebody and make a match that's worthy of having me in that ring. And Bishop's like, "Look, I understand your frustration. My hands are tied. I will find you a suitable replacement for Superbrawl, I assure you. We'll make sure you have a worthy opponent." And Bray's like, "A suitable replacement? Bischoff, I don't want any opponent. I want someone who's going to push me to my limits. Someone who's going to give me a fight I've been craving. I want to just make it right. I'm not looking for a walk in the park and just throwing anybody who doesn't have a match in the back against me. I want a fight. I want something to prove that you've been disrespecting me and everybody in the back has been disrespecting me." And Bischoff is like, "Look, I'll find you the match that you deserve at Superbrawl, Brother Ray. Just trust me." And Brother Ray's just, "I'm going to hold you to that, Bischoff. I came here to make an impact, to be taken seriously. I have to go through every single wrestler on the rest to prove it, so be it. At Superbrawl, I've heard of an opponent who's up for the challenge, because I'm not holding back, not for anyone." So there you go, 90, good stuff. Bischoff's gimmick is getting stale, so I'll note that for my own self. Yeah, good stuff. Just building things up. And then we cut backstage as we have AJ Styles and Eric Bischoff. AJ Styles and Man Goldberg, both going over their big tag team main event later on. AJ Styles about being the face that runs this place and the WC World Champion, and he not be the man because the man is right beside him, but he's ready to go in the main event of Superbrawl and prove Jeff Jarrett he's not the chosen one. He's just a chosen fool, as he's going to walk over him and walk out of Superbrawl as the WCW World Champion. Goldberg takes about, Alex Wright trying to make him out less business, but he's still standing, and he's going to prove once again he's the man. And after Superbrawl, it's on to better, and bigger things for him. Because Alex Wright, you're next. And we are changing Child's gimmick. Oof, okay, that sucks. That's unfortunate, and I might do the thing where I change it immediately just to see if that helps. So 100 here, so nothing too bad. Then we have a decent little backstage stuff here, as we have Matt Sydal and Ray Jr. As Ray Jr. is putting Sydal through his paces. Showing him basically videotape of Jamie Knoble and tell him what moves he has to watch out for next week in Sydal's rematch. And Sydal's thanks Ray Jr. for the help, and Ray's like, look, I'm just because I see you have a bright future, Matt. You've got to put yourself 1% into this and prove that you can win this TV title from him. I gotta do my own thing, but I got faith in you that you can win this title, man. And Matt thanks him and says next week on Nitro he's going to shock the world when he pins Jamie Knoble 1, 2, 3 and becomes the new television champion. Decent stuff. Sydal, so he doesn't get that great a rating, but still got a 71, so not that bad. And then we have a sort of preview match for the big women's tag title match at Superbrawl, as it's Lexi James, part of Captivation, taking on one half the women's tag team champions, Nikki Radcliffe. And it's a back and forth match. Nikki Ratcliffe gets to get a little bit of brawling in, a couple of big moves. I think goes the outside. Lexi James takes advantage. No interference. Your typical amount of cheating from a heel. But eventually Lexi takes over, hits a few big moves, and he will drill Nikki with the Lexi DT and get the basically clean pinfall over one half of the Women's World Tag Team Champions here in Nitro. As it gets a 73, Nikki gets a 60, Lexi gets a 64, and post match the heels Lexi celebrates and makes belt motions. And he's going to put over Captivation, may have 2 sets of gold around their waist if both they and Lizzie Dumas are successful. 61, not bad. And then we cut backstage where Jeremy Barash is with one of your number one contenders for the Women's Championship, Tricia Skye, as, Barash, asks her about, you're not only be able to face Lizzie Dumas, a woman you have a story past with, but also the WCW Women's World Champion, Unique Cult, in a big triple threat match. And then he also puts over that tonight she's going to ODB take on European Disunion in Captivation as sort of a preview. And, Trisha's like, when you sign up for this business, when you step into it, ready for any sort of battle. And the reality is, my history with Lizzie is well documented. We have our ups and downs, but there's always been some mutual respect. We know each other inside out, and that's going to be play a big card at Superbrawl. And if she wants to get her, new understudies involved, that's fine. I'll take each and every one of them out. And then, Nikita, you're on the top of the world, and you're above us all. You're icy cold in the veins. But yeah, I admit, I've got passion. I've got a passion for this business. I've got a passion that I've helped make this women's division in WWE mean something more than just lingerie matches, pillow fights, and wrestling in the mud. We become almost as important as the men, and we're almost on equal standing. When we get out that ring, nobody's chanting, not that many people are talking about showing our puppies anymore. They're appreciating our talents, and we're doing that ring as we go after each other full tilt. So yeah, I got passion because I believe in this business. I believe in this women's division. I believe I'm the best. And tonight, along with ODB, a woman who can scrap with the best of them, it's going to be a preview why for me, in this business, the sky's the limit. 99, good promo. So we're building up the big tag match later and the women's triple threat at Superbrawl. Then we cut backstage where, Ric Flair is with Evolution and Blaster Lashley. And, Flair's pissed. And, he basically says, Raven, last week you said you're beyond the dirtiest player in the game. Let me tell you something, brother. You think I haven't fought with weirdos before? People off the edge? Brother, I fought Kevin Sullivan when he was in the with the devil. I fought The Undertaker up north. I battled weirdos, psychos, people thought they spoke to the dead, were dead, and are part of the darkness. I was fighting with Dungeon 20 years ago, and God knows what else. So if you think you can say a couple spooky words and talk about darkness and think I'm going to fight back, you got another thing done, because the Nature Boy, alongside Blaster Lashley, an all-American wrestler with military background, and Claire Cesaro, a man who knows 5 languages and can wrestle like the best man, like a Swiss watch, is going to be scared of you and your goons. You don't have this thing coming. Because diamonds are forever, so is Ric Flair, and so is Evolution. So 60, decent promo. I rated these guys, which is why, that come up, but good stuff as we build up the sort of new feud with the Against the Darkness, with the Nest. There we go. Totally lost the word there for a second. And then we cut backstage as Eric Bischoff's in his office when in walks Lance Storm. And Bischoff says, "Hey, Lance, what do you want?" And Lance says, "I want respect. I want a chance to be on Superbrawl. And what has opened up is an opportunity for me. So, Eric, I want that match at Superbrawl against Brother Ray." Bischoff's like, "Why? What's your problem with him?" Lance's like, "I don't have a problem with him. That's the point. He wants competition. I want to give it to him. I don't have a match at Superbrawl, but I believe I'm still the best technical wrestler in WWE right now, and I can shock the world by defeating Brother Ray right in the middle of that ring." And Eric's like, fine. I'll talk to the I'll write it up, and if you want it, you got it. Storm thanks him and walks away. And this gets 75 because, well, it's Lance Storm on entertainment skills. What can you do? And then, okay. Right, I already knew this. Okay. It's Kennerson, it's Jonathan Toro, it's a 6-minute match. It's basically a squash. Like, Toro gets a little bit of offense in, but even, the announcers are sort of, shocked by what's happening in Toro. They put him a former U.S. champion who has fallen on hard times, and Anderson just sort of, rolls through him. He gets a little bit of offense in, but he doesn't even get a chance to hit his roaring elbow. He just sort of, gets nailed and Kenton Bomb. 1, 2, 3, they don't click, gets 54. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. And again, kind of why Toro didn't get the push, because he kept on having bad chemistry with folks. Anyway, as Anderson is celebrating, in comes Tez Comco and Tank Tullen in to beat him down again. But, as Anderson is fighting off, but he's slowly, getting beat down, huge pop as the Truth comes out and makes a save, runs him off, holds, Anderson's, hands up, and it looks like we got a team up. And it's basically official later that day on WCW.com as at Superbrawl, a big tag team match is going to be Ken Anderson and the Truth taking on Titus Tomko and Tank Tullen. 87, good stuff. And then we cut backstage where Jeff Jarrett and Alex Wright are with each other. And, Jarrett has, the backstage where he says, "Tonight, Styles, Goldberg, your team is going to tear the house down. I'm number one contender for a reason, Slapnuts. I'm to take back what's rightfully mine, that WWE World Championship. AJ, you're at the time the top is coming in. Superbrawl is where I fulfill my destiny and reclaim my throne at the top of World Championship Wrestling." Wright steps in his, and let's not forget about Das Wunderbar. Goldberg at Superbrawl, I will take you apart once again. Looking at the talent and sheer excellence I bring to the ring. After Superbrawl, the world recognized me as the top commentator in WCW. Jarrett looks and can't says the whole top, And, Jarrett says tonight's about our tag match. Goldberg Styles, you may talk about being at the top of the game or the man, but you're looking at 2 men who are at the very tippy top of this business. I'm the chosen one. As one, he's the force to be reckoned with here. And, Wright says, tonight, we make a statement. We're going to say at Superbrawl, it's every man for himself. Jarrett, I respect your ambition. My goals are just important. After I'm done with Goldberg, nothing and absolutely nobody will stop me from reaching the pinnacle of WCW. Jeff's like, that's fine, Slapnut. Tonight, we'll work together to take down Goldberg and Styles. Superbrawl, it's all about my chance at the world title. And that's how it's come to with me. AJ Styles, enjoy your last 6 days as champion, because Chosen One is ready to take back what's rightfully his. And Wright steps in and says, get ready for a repeat performance at Superbrawl Goldberg, when I take you apart once again and show what a myth you are. And I show that Das Wunderbar is the future of WCW. to go 100, a little bit of tension, nothing open, but still building things up. And then we have a fun little backstage, promo as, Shelton's like a little upset about what happened. And Booker's like, look, Seka, I'm a six-time world champion. And we don't even want to know how many times I've been tag champion. And I know we have these belts for a reason. Ninkyo, they're dangerous competitors. I'm not going to deny that. But Seka, you're one of the best wrestlers in the world. You can suplex anyone, take down anyone, and make them tap out. And you got me by your side. Brother, you gotta believe in yourself. And know we can do this in the ring. Kaz, Yang, I'm not going to say they're not tough. But we're just as tough. And we can keep these belts around our waists after Superbrawl. Sheldon nods and looks like they're ready. Good stuff. 68, not the worst thing, but not the best thing either. And then we have a quick segment where basically Toro is just backstage, like throwing stuff around, like overturning tables, throwing cups, glasses around, and just walks out openly upset as he walks outside of the building. 58, fun stuff. And then we have our Triple Threat Tag Team Preview match. And, basically this is sort of the spot you expect. Like, ODB does some brawling, but eventually, like, Lizzie Dumas gets some spots in on her. Nikita Colt suplexes people around, takes them down. Tricia Skye gets her spots in. Basically, the other women involved sort of are there to take the big spots from the people in the women's title match. But eventually, things break down. And it says elimination match because I forgot to choose the right thing. But basically, at the end, Lizzie Dumas is able to nail ODB with a moonsault in the chaos. And get the pinfall victory. No, actually, sorry. Right. I want it to be on Wesena Busic. And she gets the pinfall victory, heel over heel. And this gets an 83 overall. Busic gets a 67. Colt gets a 92. Dawkins gets a 65. Dumas gets a 68. ODB gets a 55. And Skye gets a 79. And post-match, as soon as Lizzie pins Busic, Colt is going after her heel versus heel. But then Tricia Skye does sort of a springboard move on both of them, and the fight continues on the outside, just everyone, going after each other. Whoever WCW officials break it up, and just put over the big triple threat match coming up at Superbrawl. And this gets a 77, not bad. And then we have another segment about Penny Grable, black and white, talking about the audaciousness of modern women's wrestlers, and she's a throwback, bringing back traditional women's wrestling when they were the equal of the men without having to sexualize themselves or debase themselves, and she's the true future of women's wrestling by bringing it back to the past. 58, not bad. And then, Brother Ray is leaving the building, and, we have, somebody coming up to him, and he says, Lance Storm, I got one thing to say to you. Get ready for a long, long night. We didn't really cross paths in the lane of the extreme, but you better be remembering your lessons from back then, because I'm a street survivor, and Lance, I don't care if you decide you're on the side of the Angels now, I'm still going to take you apart. You signed up because you thought you'd be competition, but you're going to serve as a message to Eddie Guerrero, because once he recovers from the point in his head, he's still on my list. 87, not bad, again, putting over the big match at Superbrawl, which I should actually make. And this is more of a, just so I remember to book it, at the pay-per-view, not so much a, yeah. There we go. And then we have our main event, I believe. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow, okay. Hey guys, I have some rocking news. Bill Goldberg, AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, Alex Wright, all very good friggin' wrestlers. So yeah, this is just a super heated tag match. Like, I can imagine, like, this isn't like 100 as in it's a 5-star, like, Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi in 2019, or FTR versus DIY in NXT. This is just your top tier, like those insanely heated Nitro or Raw main events from this little bit of time period. Like, Stone Cold and The Rock versus Triple H and, I don't know, Mankind or whatever. Stone Cold and Mankind versus Triple H and The Rock from some random Raw in 1988. That was the hottest crowd you ever seen. Or like when they were putting together, like, it's Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart versus Sting and Randy Savage. A match never before, never again. And for like, that's sort of this match is, because it's just like 4 in this universe big stars. We have the rising heel We have Jeff Jarrett, the long-term heel veteran. AJ Styles, the new face of the place, the face that runs this place, and of course, Goldberg. And this is sort of like how the match turned out. Like, Goldberg went in the ring, he's dominant, but it's only short spurts, and eventually, like, the heels take advantage. But AJ Styles comes in, he flies around, he's able to do some big moves. Wright is completely going after Goldberg's knee. Anyone he's in the ring, it's going after the knee, going after the leg, just trying to take apart Goldberg slowly, but he gets some big moves in on Wright, throws him around, but Jeff Jarrett, doesn't just stick on his own. Goldberg and Jarrett, get around. I don't think I actually had that many, like, times they overlapped in WCW, because by the time Jarrett was at the top, Goldberg was sort of, like, out because he hated Russo. And anyway, so, like, I see a big spear being hit by Jarrett, Wright coming in, breaking it apart, AJ Styles eventually coming in, things breaking down, and then just when it looks like it's going to be over, as Wright, gets Goldberg on the outside, Goldberg hits a big spear on him, in the sort of, like, not the ringside area, but on the ramp. And as the officials are trying to deal with that, it slips in, simply John Divine, who comes from behind, nails AJ Styles with the Divine Intervention. Jarrett then comes in, stroke, 1, 2, 3. Jarrett and Wright pick up the big victory over Styles and Goldberg in about 15 minutes. 100 overall, Goldberg gets a 92, Styles gets a 90, Jarrett gets a 95, Wright gets an 89, and overall, the show itself gets a 96. Okay, there we go, good stuff. Again, for people who are having issues with, like, sports entertainment products, make sure you're not, like, having everything, like, equally rated, because that doesn't work. But just have your most over people in some good 6-minute promos. This is sort of cheesing things, but in real life, your top tier guys are on TV at least 6 minutes. It's just easier this way than to do, like, 3 different 2-minute segments. But anyway, and then the rest you can basically sort of do on your own. Like this is not a, this is just a show people remember. Hey, remember that show for Superbrawl where we had the really good tag match? We had the big Tricia Skye promo, and we had the little segment with Brother Ray. Yeah, that's all we really need. So yeah, fun stuff. Really good show. Honestly, a lot better than I expected. Obviously. So yeah. I mean, I'm actually, again, that's like, I think my third 100. Right? Yeah. It's funny, like, it's all these random matches. Like, my super, insanely built, singles matches for titles, 87. My big tag matches, 82. Random tag match on a Nitro, 100. Sure. I mean, I get the game. Like, the game doesn't know these really built are really good. I mean, I totally get it and understand, but it's funny. Like I'm actually curious. Like, of my best matches, like, what were actually, like, really well built and which were sort of, like, random. Because I bet there's a lot more of the former than the latter, or vice versa. However, I actually said that. I love hiring. Workers. Okay, there we go. Yes, 5. Oh, shit. No, why didn't we get a 5-star match? Boo. I mean, okay, now I'm actually curious. Like, okay, Nitro. Okay, we got 100. They got okay. They also got 100. Interesting. But yeah, now actually, let me see here. Kaz, I mean, you're right. You're a weird person to say that, but you're right. Let me just, I'm just actually curious. Okay, matches. Okay, so matches. Let's go to this here. Okay, so, right. Jarrett, I mean, this at least was like our sort of like set for a number one contender match, so like, that's better. Again, that makes at least sense. Right, Ray. Yeah, if we go to 2005, again, this was not the world title match. I thought we'd get 100. This is a random 6-man match. I mean, you sort of see a sort of couple of people who are in there consistently, and yeah, it's very, very. Anyway, sorry, I'm just looking at it. It's hilarious to me. Anyway, real check. Let's see what Raw did. Raw had, okay, so we have Rick Steiner defeating Fit Finlay in a 41. These guys should not be on TV. Richard, Sam, and Maven defeated Juvie Juice and TNA in an 81. Vampiro won a squash. Big Show won a squash. DDP and Batista defeated the Outcast in an 82. Molly Holly defeated Beth Phoenix in an 87. Sure. And Chris Jericho defeated CM Punk in a ladder match, which at least makes some sort of sense because, Jericho just won the Royal Rumble and he should be getting the world title match at WrestleMania against Michaels. So, and CM Punk is part of DX 2.0, so that at least makes some sort of sense. And they're still in Japan, so their ratings don't make any sense. Okay. So I'll be back in just a moment with Revolution, the last show before Superbrawl. And welcome to Revolution, live from the beautiful XL Center in, I think, Bridgeport, Connecticut, in front of over 15,000 people as we're only a few days out from Superbrawl, live from New York. And of course, to start the show, none other than Rob Van Dam comes down to the ring with his advocate, Paul Heyman, and even says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I'm the advocate for the top star in WCW, the #1 wrestler in the world. He is Mr. Wednesday Night, and he is Mr. Pay-Per-View, Rob Van Dam." At Superbrawl, we find ourselves in another unique situation, a so-called wild card 6-man elimination match where my client, RVD, will team with Sean Hare and Mark Jindrak. But let's make one thing crystal clear. Rob doesn't need partners. He is a solo act, headliner, a showstopper of his own accord. Big, some cheers because we're in New York, because ECW country, mostly booze. RVD is a top athlete in the business. He's a top competitor in the business. He is a former world champion for a reason. So here, Jindrak, even though it's good for you, try not to be thrillers, go the other way and watch the master at work. This is his stage, his spotlight, and Superbrawl is about to witness the greatness of Rob Van Dam. Cue Sean Hare coming out, and he says, "Hey man, I've heard enough of this. Talk about being a solo act, a showstopper, but Superbrawl, whether we like it or not, is going to be a team effort. And whether I like it or not, we're on the same side. But I'm going to bring the future shock to our team and be the winner. And then, if you survive or not, I'm going to be the man who becomes the #1 contender for the WCW World Championship." And Van Dam, I respect what you've done in this ring. What you've been doing for the past 6 months or so, what you did before that. But I've been at the top, and I know what it takes to win. Superbrawl, we're going to come out at the top, and we're going to work on this team whether you like it or not. Van Dam's like, "Man, look, I don't need to ride anybody's coattails, O'Hare. I'm RVD the whole effing show. And look, Sean, you had your shot at Clash of Champions, and you blew it. So just step aside and let the true stars in WCW shine." And then, as they're about to argue, cue the, motorcycle, and out comes Chuck Palumbo along with Raven Rain, and of course, Mark Jindrak. And Palumbo takes Mike, says, well, looks like we get some trouble in paradise here. RVD, hey man, you're off the spotlight, huh? Let me remind you, at Superbrawl, it's not just about you, it's about all of us. And Jindrak and I, we're not going to step aside and let you steal the show. You can see, we're together. Even though we'll be at the other side of the ring, we know that one of us is going to walk out as the #1 contender to the World Championship, no matter who gets in our way. Hey, Heyman fires back. "Palumbo, I have immense respect for you. But you have to understand, your time is over. It's time for my client, Rob Van Dam, to rise to the top of WCW once again. And your partner, Mark Jindrak, remember which team he's going to be on during Superbrawl." And then cue Kanyon's music as he comes out and he says, "Well, here's the thing. I'm not thrilled about Team Palumbo at Superbrawl or Macias. Let's get one thing straight. I know Palumbo wants another shot at the world title, and I do as well. So for one night, I can decide the fact I think he's a giant asshole and teaming together to win the match at Starrcade. But make no mistake, as he turns Palumbo, after the Superbrawl, I'll be back to proving why nobody's better than Kanyon." When he says, "Kanyon, I know you can be ruthless when you have to be. And tonight, at Superbrawl, I need you to be ruthless. If you can do that, we'll have no problems. And hopefully, the scary guy can be on our side as well." And Heyman says, "Oh yeah, that's right. You have to deal with the guy who's been mind controlled by every guy with face paint and some Cure lyrics in this roster for the past 5 years. Are you sure the guy who chokeslams anybody won't be decided to chokeslam you as well?" And then, Heyman smirking as the argument continues. But then, out comes Teddy Long and says, "Hold on a minute, players. I see a little bit of tension here, and I think we need to settle some of this before Superbrawl. So what we're doing tonight on Revolution is a tag team match. Not just any tag team match, but a Press Incredibilis tag team match. It's a bit of preview for Superbrawl. So tonight, in this ring, we're going to have four WCW World Champions in the ring as Rob Van Dam, you're going to team with Sean Hare against Chuck Palumbo and Kanyon in our main event. Here's your chance to show everybody here in Bridgeport, everybody out there watching Revolution, what you're made of. I want to see your A game tonight. Remember, Superbrawl, whoever wins, whoever survives, meets up later in a match for the number one contendership right here on Revolution. The big stuff there, 97. Unfortunately, we get some bad rolls to scripts, but they were all good enough. They also had good rolls for their catchphrase. Still, 97, not bad. And then we have our opening six-man match, which is sort of a continuation of some of the feuds who aren't honestly over enough to have a match at Superbrawl. So they're just sort of building to some big matches in the future. Let's see here. The interesting thing is, like, Jet is injured and he has a damaged neck, but he's only getting 63, so he's not, like, terrible. Like, obviously, he'd probably be getting 70s with it, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, fun stuff here is that Chavo and the Hardy Boys take on Austin Aries and the Jet Set. You know, you get your spots back and forth, really high-impact stuff. But eventually, you know, things break down. Chavo sends Aries to the outside, brawls with him a bit. But in the ring, Matt and Jeff hit their couple double teams, and boom, twist of fate. Jeff Hardy up to the top on cash, 1, 2, 3. And Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Trevor Guerrero gets a big pinfall victory here on Revolution. Like I said, this goes a little under 10 minutes, gets a 76. Hardy gets an 82. Jeff gets a 93. I guess that's what the tag team experience bump is worth, is about 5-6 points. Chavo gets a 72. Aries gets a 56. Cash gets a 72. And Jet gets a 63. And post-match, the babyfaces all celebrate as this gets a 72. We cut backstage as Trevor Slater is with... Amy Weber is with Trevor Slater. The man who's getting a TV title shot later tonight. And, you know, she asks about, you know, him basically have a shot at the WCW TV title. How are you feeling about this, you know, chance at becoming a champion here in WCW? And Slater says, I've been overlooked and underestimated the whole time I've been here in WCW. Nobody thinks I'm just some redneck. Maybe I'm just here because I was drinking buddy of Harrison Storm, who's just tagging along here in WCW. But tonight, I'm proved to him, everybody else, I'm much more than that. I'm a contender, and I'm here to win that television title. And, you know, whoever says, you know, Knoble hasn't been shy about dismissing your abilities in the ring. How does that affect, you know, how you're going to take to this match? And, you know, Slater's like, no one talk all he wants. But talk is cheap. In that ring, it's about action. That's where I excel at. He's been past me thinking I'm just a stepping stone to show how great he is. But tonight, he's in for a rude awakening. I'm just here to go to fight. I'm here to win the damn thing. See, I'm fighting my whole life in and out of the ring. I've dealt with doubters, with folks that didn't belong. Every time I proved them wrong, thanks to me being different. Noble's tough atonement. I don't deny that. He's TV champion for a reason. I'm not scared. I'm ready. You know, Weber asks about winning the television title. Mark, you know, Slater says, when title would mean everything. It's validation. It proves that Trevor Slater is more than a brawler, more than just a redneck. I'm a contender. I'm a fighter and champion amazing. I can show the world that Noble's staying away, but not for long. Fun stuff, you know, 58, decent promo. You know, unfortunately, Noble's not the most, you know, over guy yet. I mean, Slater's not the most over guy yet, but we're still building things as we move forward here on Revolution. And the show continues as we cut backstage as, you know, Jim Tam Wrestling, you know, Tony Citarelli, Romy Rossi are with Koki backstage doing backstage stuff when they run into Prince Osei and the Skipper. And, you know, basically we have a quick little argument here where, you know, Osei and Skipper, you know, put over they had chance to tag team titles. Jim Tam Wrestling say they were this close to getting that title shot themselves. And, you know, Osei, you know, tries to basically buy Cookie off Citarelli and Rossi, says she will make a fine third or fourth wife for him in Ghana. You know, they get upset, arguments ensue, and we have a match made up for next week on Revolution. 41, because, well, these guys aren't super over yet. But fun little backstage segment. And then we have a complete squash as Kidman wins in 2 minutes over Cole and Olsen. And he basically takes him down, does some wacky wrestling moves, and then locks him in a ankle lock to get the victory. You know, just basically, you know, putting over the match versus Angle at Superbrawl. And then he takes a mic. Estes gets a 70, Kidman gets an 85 because he's great, and Olsen gets a 29. He says, you know, Kidman takes a mic, says, I know a lot of you dislike me. I know a lot of you despise me. A lot of you hate me. A lot of you doesn't think I belong where I am. But here's the reality. I've fought for every damn thing I've gotten in this business. And you don't have to like the way I've done it, or who I've teamed with to do so, or or even respect how I've done it. But you can't deny what I've actually done in this business. I was always told I was second fiddle to Ray Jr., and I proved I was better than him. I was told I wouldn't be anything more than just a second-tier wrestler. I won title after title. I shocked the world and became the M1 Mayhem tournament, and I shocked the world again and became the world champion. And then I held on to that belt, even as people wished and begged for me to lose that title. And yeah, I'm not going to deny that I eventually lost the title, but I got right back up and shocked the world again by beating Brother Ray at Starrcade and winning that #1 pick. But even after that, people denied what I deserved. And now Kurt Angle showed up, acting like he's something special just because he won an Olympic gold medal a decade ago and competed up north. And here's the thing, Kurt. You're a great damn wrestler. Nobody's actually stupid enough to deny that. But I'm Billy Kidman. I'm a former WCW World Champion. That means I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world. So, Kurt, if you think Sunday is going to be a walk in the park for you, you're just throw me around, ankle slam me, ankle lock, you don't have anything coming. Because I'm going to shock the world again when I pin your ass 1, 2, 3, and remind everybody why I'm Billy Baby Kidman. 86, decent promo. I'm sure he got some cheers, but mostly a heel shtick, good stuff, 86. And then we cut backstage. This is a quick little segment as O'Haire, is with RVD and Heyman, and RVD is ready for a fight, and O'Haire's like, look, I'm not looking for a fight, but Heyman, RVD, I'm teaming with you tonight, and that's fine. This is just a reminder, don't get in my way. If you won't get in my way, I won't get in your way. But after Superbrawl, it's time for a future shock. Heyman just smirks and says, whatever you want, Van Dam, whatever you want, O'Haire. But when Superbrawl is over, it's going to be clear to everybody it's time for Mr. Pay-Per-View to reign again. 74, just a 3-minute promo, so you can put it over the tag match later. And then we have the actual TV title match, and it's a very good match here as Knoble is good at carrying people. Slater gets his spots in. There's some brawling. He gets sort of a modified big power bomb for a near fall. But Knoble is able to reverse some stuff, go low and eventually take advantage and lock Trevor Slater in the guillotine choke in a little over 8 minutes and get the submission victory. Slater has to tap out, and a big fifth defense for Knoble as it gets an 80. Knoble gets an 83. Slater gets a 51. And post-match, Knoble actually keeps the hold on. Freedom officials are breaking apart, and he sort of kicks and stomps at Slater, laughing maniacally as he holds up the television title as it gets a 59. Fun stuff. And then we cut backstage with Amy Weber. Well, no, yeah. As Amy Weber is with Gail Kim and Alli Danger. She asks them about the 4-way match later tonight, as Alli Danger will be going against Wesena Busic, Nattie Neidhart, and all that Alyssa Alexander. In a big fatal 4-way match in the women's division. And, Gail Kim says, tonight's more than a match, it's an opportunity for Alli here to showcase what she's learned under my guidance. She's my protege now, and there's a lot of talk about the future of the women's division of WCW, but let me set the record straight. The future isn't Nattie Neidhart, the future isn't Alexander, it's right here in Alli Danger as she learns from me. See, I'm at the top, I'm a multi-time women's world champion, and I don't take a seed in this business. I see the same potential in Alli. She's not some understudy. She's a force to be reckoned with in the here and the now. And Alli steps and says, tonight, Nattie, Alyssa, even you, Wesena, you're stepping into the danger zone. What I've learned from Gail isn't just how to fight, it's how to dominate, and how to assert my will in that ring, and I plan on just doing that. And Gail steps and says, this is just about winning a match, about sending a message, about being overlooked, being underappreciated. We're this close to being women's world tag team champions. With this statement, not about the tag division, but about the women's world championship. After tonight, Knoble will deny our impact on this company. And Alli says, Nattie, Alyssa, you think you're something special, but I'm going to prove that I'm the best. I'm the hottest rising young star of this company in the women's division. And Wesena Busic, you're just another obstacle on my path as I come after your partner for that women's world title sooner or later. We will be ruthless, we'll be relentless, and above all, show them why I'm going to show them why I'm the future. Tonight's the women's division on notice. The Danger Zone isn't just a catchy phrase, as a reality, they're all about to walk into. So decent little promo, 65, setting up the Fatal 4-Way for later tonight. And then we have a goofy little segment as Angel Fox is backstage at, let's say, a catering table or doing whatever, and Ray LePen walks in and says, "Well, aren't you alone? You have nothing to do for Sunday. So why don't we go out in New York City, Big Apple, party, as you're able to see yourself on the arm of the hottest international star in WCW, and be someone people actually care about again, instead of just a loser who lost her chance to the Women's World Championship, is now being passed by younger wrestlers." Angel Fox looks at him and says, "What the hell?" and just slaps him and walks away. 71, decent little comedy segment as we move forward. And then we have Jack Evans take on Sonny Siaki. So, decent little high spot match, just pure action. Siaki gets a little bit some moves in, but eventually Jack Evans gets a big pinfall victory in a little over 5 minutes with one of his flippy moves. And this gets a 93, Siaki gets a 58, 70, decent stuff. And just a simple squash, not quite a squash, but a kind of non-competitive match to put Evans over. And then post-match, he takes the mic, and he says, "Tonight's win was just a reminder what's to come in Superbrawl. I know what everyone's thinking. I'm the underdog going against Monty Brown. But here's the thing. That may be the reality, but being that underdog is absolutely nothing new to me. I've been the underdog my entire career. From starting out up in Calgary, from teaming up with Teddy in the Hart Legacy, or striking on my own, I've always faced the challenges head on in front of me. I have been underestimated and overlooked, but time and time again, I've proven those critics wrong. I've been a World Tag Team Champion. I got to the final of the Man Tournament. I defeated Eddie Guerrero at Starrcade. I've gone toe-to-toe with some of the best in this business, held my own. So Monty, you may be the alpha male. You may be a tough son of a bitch. You may be bigger, you may be better than me. But in that ring, we are equals. And I'm going to walk out the winner and shock the world once again." Big pop, and then Monty Brown comes down to the ring. He, basically gets in the ring. He takes the mic, and then he just whacks Evans with it. Evans goes down. Evans, gets up. Monty goes to the corner, ready for the pounce. But he goes for the pounce. Evans gets out of the way. Monty goes to the ropes. And then Evans hits a big old wacky dive onto him to a big pop. And then Evans stands tall as he goes to the back to the cheers of the crowd. And this gets a 94. So for a little segment to put over Evans. And then we cut backstage, where, again, Kanyon walks in with Palumbo and Jindrak, and he says, "Palumbo, Chuck, Mark, Raven, here's the thing. You can bring your older lady out tonight in the tag match, because she's your manager. But, Jindrak, don't get involved. Me and Palumbo are tag team tonight, and we prove that nobody's better than us, but especially nobody's better than Kanyon." Jindrak is about to speak when Palumbo says, "Mark, he has a point. Look, we're partners and we're throwers together, but we're on opposite sides on Sunday. So just stay back and watch out. If anything too off the rails happens, get the ball to help me out. But for tonight, it's just me and Kanyon in that ring, taking care of O'Hare and RVD." Jindrak looks a little bit upset, but agrees as this gets a 73. And then we have our 4-way match, which, unfortunately, I thought would be a little bit better. I guess it's not the end of the world. So, fun stuff. We got Wesena Busic, who's, of course, the technical mastermind and Colt's partner. We got Alli Danger, Gail Kim's understudy, Alyssa Alexander, who's been strong the past couple months, and Nattie Neidhart, who's, here. Honestly, I should be doing more with her, but she's just I need to figure out a good angle to get her motivated. Anyway, back and forth match. Everybody gets their spots in. Nattie gets a sharpshooter at some point in somebody, but, Wesena Busic breaks it up. Busic locks in submission. Alexander makes a save. Things break down. Eventually, Gail Kim comes down and tries to get involved. But actually what happens is she comes in and she tries to go hit the Eat Defeat as the ref is distracted onto Alli Danger. But Alli gets out of the way. He nails Danger with it as Alexander gets out of the way. Alexander picks Danger up, drills her with a, release German suplex, hits the big spinebuster of death, and gets the huge pinfall victory over Alli Danger here on Revolution, as this gets a 72, Nattie gets a 43, Alexander gets a 58, Danger gets a 55, and Busic gets a 69. Fun stuff. And post-match, Alexander celebrates another big win, and Kim and Alli Danger have a bit of an argument, as this gets a 58 because it's a short segment. And post-match, we have the more mysterious jungle music, chanting, we're in the jungle, and a coming soon graphic comes up as this gets a 34. And then we have the Nitro recap, focusing on the big tag team match, which got 100. And now we have our main event of the evening. Oof. Okay, let's see here. 81-92, so 3 points. 3 points. So 5 points total. 2 points total. But then 11 points. So actually, yeah, should have maybe an 86 or an 87 with the announcing bug. Ooh, Palumbo. Was this a face heel thing? Let me see here. Okay, inconsistency, right. Ooh, that sucks about Kanyon. Man, I guess that makes sense that his run is basically kind of getting over. Anyway, back and forth match, and you sort of get the typical spots. We get RVD, him trying to get involved, RVD stopping him, Palumbo trying to get Raven Reign involved, but Heyman and Raven Reign actually arguing, outside, Kanyon and O'Hare having a little segment together. But eventually things break down, and here's the thing. Kanyon has the opportunity, and he takes it as he nails O'Hare with a flatliner after not seeing that Heyman shakes the ropes when O'Hare's going for a big flying shoulder block off the second rope. Or no, actually, O'Hare is going for the Widowmaker on Palumbo. Yeah, Raven Reign grabs his foot. O'Hare yells at Raven Reign, and he turns around and walks straight into a cannon cutter from Kanyon, who gets a big pinfall victory here. As this gets an 84, Kanyon gets a 93, Palumbo gets an 81, RVD gets a 92, O'Hare gets an 81, and then the real true chaos happens as Kanyon and Kanyon and O'Hare start arguing, but RVD goes after Kanyon, but O'Hare actually makes a save for Kanyon, which makes Palumbo then go. Then Jindrak runs in, Palumbo and Jindrak go after one another, and then the lights go out, and Messias comes out and just starts wrecking shit. He doesn't really care who's his partner, which sort of puts over what Heyman said earlier in the evening about Messias not caring about who's his partner over, as he hits chokeslam on Jindrak, hits a chokeslam on Palumbo, hits chokeslam on RVD, hits a chokeslam on Kanyon, big brawling, and, basically the unders put over the chaos that'll happen at Superbrawl in this wild card 6-man elimination match, as this gets a 96. And overall, the show itself gets us an 89. So not our best show there, but, unfortunately, I sort of figured what would happen with the face heel combination, but I hope for some good. Honestly, I was hoping for some wackiness where one of those two teams would have some really good chemistry, but alas, what can you do? So, I'll go over the full lineup here in a second. As it loads up. Loading. I gotta love loading. Okay, any interesting mail? Oof. How dare he not like Prince Anna? I mean, that makes sense. That is I get why he would not like that. Okay, wait. Fist. Was that a real stable in Chikara? I feel like that was. Anyway, Quackenbush, Mark Wolf, Jardy France, Slick Wagner Brown, and Dragon Ann Wilson. Interesting. Anyway. Oops, that's not it. So, again, pre-booking, just to go over the whole lineup, which I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 12 matches. Okay, so first we have Jeff Jarrett versus AJ Styles for the World Championship. We have Goldberg versus Alex Wright, where Goldberg is looking for revenge against Alex Wright after he tried to take him out. We have Kidman versus Angle, And Kurt Angle faces the Best Brothers Company after signing for us series. We have the tag title as Nikki try to win back their tag titles against Booker and Shelton. We have, of course, Brother Ray versus Lance Storm after Eddie Guerrero got a concussion, so Lance Storm stepped in. Brother Ray's pissed about that. We have Katie Sharp versus Paul London for the U.S. Title Championship, which I really didn't do anything on Revolution because, like, sort of the segment, like, the match is set up. There's not much more to go do there. We have the big triple threat match for the Women's World Championship as Lizzie Dumas and Tricia Skye both try to take the belt off Nikita Colt. We have, sort of the ultimate underdog, Jack Evans, trying to take the big win off of the alpha male Monty Brown. We have the Cruiserweight Championship on the line as Reckless Roberts takes on Maverick Chance. We have the Truth stepping in to help Ken Anderson against Titus Tomko and Tank Tolan. After, of course, Tank Tolan, basically hired Tomko as his protection and attacked Anderson in a match. Then we have the big Prowess Incredibles 6-man elimination match, where the winners will face off on Revolution for the number one contendership as O'Hare, RVD, and Jindrak take on Palumbo, Kanyon, and Macias. And then we have the Women's Tag Championships on the line as Celestine defend against Captivation of Lexi James and Desiree Dawkins. If you look at storylines, we have challenges everywhere at 72. We have Against the Darkness at 55. We have Captivating Nitro at an 80. We have Dangerous Challenge at a 97. More Than a Pretty Face at 79. Never Knoble at a 72. Not Resting on the Laurels at a 95. Proving Grounds at a 72. Respect Needs to Be Earned at an 84. Ultimate Opportunities at a 69. Nice. Angles, second match is at a 86. Aries Chavo is at a 75. The Danger Fox Kim is at a 75. Mind Over Gold's at an 87. Money Men's at a 79. New Effing Shows at an 85. Throwing Darkness is at an 85. And Walking into Wars at an 84. Then if we look at the rest of the wrestling world, first WWE had SmackDown. So we had Road Warrior Animal versus Chains in a 35. I mean, again, why did they hire, Brian Lee? I don't get that. Usually get the EI booking, but, Chains is not good. Anyway, Christian defeated Andy Douglas in a squash. We had Ivory defeating Angel Obscurga, Sonia Majors, and Jackie Eda to win the Women's Championship. Sure. Interesting. We had Devin Dwight beat Mark Angry by DQ. We had Rikishi and Tricia Suburbs defeating Billy Gunn and Little Fellas in 81. Gladiator defeating Justice in a 76. Ooh, something might be wrong with Abyss. Because, he was not having that. I'm actually interested. Let me see. Skills. No, he's improving. I don't, Basics, selling, consistency. I guess maybe he was just in tag matches before, and I didn't know he was not that good yet. Yeah, because his stats are fun. Interesting. Okay. Weird. Sorry, maybe he has a bad gimmick. I just didn't think he would get that bad a rating. I mean, Austin's still good. In the main event, Undertaker and Regal defeated Scott Steiner and Kane. And yeah, that's your main event picture in SmackDown at the moment. Not great. Anyway, right. Also, in a big thing, we had Impact. So, again, with Impact, the thing I'm going to do is we'll probably, look in every few months and book for them. And we'll just see how they do. So, one thing is I did go and edit them to have a women's division. So, they had some interesting signings. I'm just going to say that. In Triple H, you're still your booker. Hulk Hogan is still your figurehead, which is hilarious to me. But yeah, so for Impact Against All Odds, we had Jason Fex cutting a promo about Tony Guzina. We had Paul Levesque and Hogan, it says brawling, but we're going to say confrontation. Then we had a women's match as Sofia Velasquez and Fabi Apache defeated Trinity and Serena Bed. And it's this Trinity, not the other Trinity. And then we had Abanijah and Don Marie segments, which I'm just going to say, to be frank, are probably commenting based on their sex appeal. Then we had Claudia de Solis defeat CJ Lane to be him the first Impact Diva Championship, which I might go in and edit to be the Knockouts Champion. Did CJ Lane become anybody? No, okay. She looks familiar. Anyway, Brent Albright and Derek Sparrow defeated Menage's Monsters, who are Hydrak and Harrison. I mean, that makes sense. Trinity McRae, who's, of course, the Trinity defeated Terry Runnels, and I bet was some sort of sex appeal match, got a 22. And then we had an interest match as Dancing Fools defeated The Miz and Roadkill and the Hulkamaniacs of Militech and Amazing Red. So, I'm sure there's some comedy angle over Miz hiring Roadkill as a partner. But yeah, I mean, Disco makes sense. Amazing Red gets to 650. So yeah, Meltec got a 62, which isn't bad. Roadkill got a 58, which isn't bad. Then we had the Hulkamaniacs of Shiver, aka Glacier, Hulk Hogan, and Jesus Gill Jr. via Giant Singh, El Condor, and Samson. And it's got a 37. Jesus Christ. Then we had Chronic being the Architects of David Flair Apollo to retain the tag championships in a 46. When Brian Clark is the best worker in your match, you have a problem. Then in the main event, we had Lex Luger defeating Bruce Beefcake, Hellraiser, aka Gigantes, aka The Wall, and Paul Levesque in a cage match to retain the Impact World Championship. This got a 57. Triple H got an 87, and I'm absolutely sure he did not do the pinfall loss here. Kind of interesting that Triple H did not book himself the title already. Still, their best show ever, I think. Let me go back to this view profile, top 100s. Yeah, their best show. Okay, no, Genesis was their best show because I booked it, but for the IA booking, this getting a 60 is a good thing. So yeah, that's Impact. If we go to our defeats, so Wildside, let's see here. Hernandez and Danielson defeated Drago, Jones, and Suzuki. Yeah. Onyx defeated Matt Morgan. Michaels v. Jimmy Rave, and Jason Cross Lazarus, Cassiarelli, and Ray Gordy. And then Weekly House Show, let's see here. Kurt Stalling, who's a regen, defeated Brett Major and Lance Hoyt. Yeah. Stalling is actually pretty close to might being ready for a pull-up, but I don't know what to do with him. Jones, Creed, and Perkins defeated Shane Haste, Hernandez, and Danielson. That's a wacky 6-man. I'm surprised it did not happen at some point in some indie somewhere. But yeah. Again, Danielson's already getting 56s, despite not doing anything US for years in the game. Let's see here. Yeah, nothing much of note. And if you look at American Wrestling Queens, we have, for the weekly show, Ashley Lane, who is, Taylor Wilde, I think, defeated Josie. Then we had Amazing Connor Madison Eagles, defeated Tracy Taylor and Carla Chambers. And a weird 6-man as Annette Blanchard, Lee Halsaka, and Michelle McCool defeated Trinisa Bakers, Portia Perez, and Amy Sakura in a tables match. And then if we look at what the Dev Fed for Your Friend and Mine is doing, so HWA had this, which I'm sure I showed you guys already. So for their weekly show, let's see here. Foul Blood defeated Chandler McClure, Kevin Mofonto, and Silas Young. Monto is one of the regens, Silas Young and Silas Young. Barry Brandberg defeats Salvatore Maselli. Jorge Estrada defeated Billy Ray, Drew Onyx, and Jimmy Jacobs. Sure. That's basically AEW head booker Jimmy Jacobs at this point. Ray Steele defeated Danny Basham and Alex Shelley. So yeah, not much going on there yet. OVW-wise, let's see here. Weekly Loop. Nothing really shocking. Oh, right. I wanted to show you guys something, I think. 6, right, any type, worker settings area. Maybe it wouldn't be, hold on. Yeah, so, John Moxley already got hired by WWE on a developmental contract. So that's interesting. I mean, he doesn't have the weird, like, insane stats like future stars usually have. Maybe a little bit better than I would put him at 20 years old. But yeah, I mean, like, I would probably drop his star quality in this stuff, but I forget how it works in game exactly. But yeah, I mean, he could be, like, he could have, like, 80 wrong or something wacky already by people. But yeah, so again, very interesting that, okay, in this version of reality, John Moxley got signed only, honestly, a year after John Cena did. That's a weird reality. But yeah, outside of that, other Weekly Loop stuff, nothing really much of note. Yeah. And then if you look around the wrestling world, so I'll show you guys news. Okay, so going back to last week's Revolution. Again, I should get better at this point, but I need to show you. Okay, so WZ had one of their big shows. Really things of note is Marcus Bagwell and Fidel Sierra defeated Alex Montalvo, Jill Skiddo Jr. in a 56. LW Uproar. Let's see here. Kevin Northcutt versus Sebastian Reese. David Flair and Violent J teamed up to beat Duke Drosy and Sick Boy. That's a wacky match. Gary Lynn versus Robert Gibbs in a submission match where probably nobody took an actual bump. D'Lo Brown, Glacier, and Marcus Miltech defeat Simon Diamond, Ron Harrison, Disco Inferno. That's like a 0.6 war level match. Jason Cross then defeated Laz. Sure. Let's see here. Anything else of note to show you guys? Chick Fight 16. Again, you sort of see the after effects of either me or WWE signing every viable, or Impact at this point, signing every viable woman. Yeah. Not exactly Shimmer, are we? Let's see here. Stampede Wrestling had a big show. Not much. CW had This Time It's Personal. We had such fun matches as Axel Rotten versus Necro Butcher, Nick Gage versus Nate Hatred, Ruckus versus Justice Payne, Balls Mahoney and John Zegate versus Bruce Mastino and The Wall, and of course Amazing Red versus Rick Blade in the main event. Honestly, probably a better version than reality of CCW. Then we had Integrity. Remember, Integrity is the ROH replacement I made after Rob Black took over ROH and turned into a hardcore fed. So we have, let's see here, Shane Storm versus Groove Strera. We have Spuds McKenzie versus Incognito. We have Cologne. Which Cologne is that? That's Eddie Cologne. Okay, and John Walters. We have Logan Kane and Justin Idol. And Peter Goodman, Brian Logan. We have Marcus Miltech defeated Jolly Roger. Flanagan, Ballard, and Spade defeated Shane Ballard, Basham, and Moore. Mark Merrow and David Young defeated John Phoenix and Moser Frontine. They have Striker and Bateman retain the tag titles over Egocentric, who are Ice Trade and Tony Zena. Sure. I guess they're doing a former WCW guys gimmick. And Jerry Lynn defeated Perry Saturn for the Champion of Integrity title. So there we go. And I think that's it. Yeah. And New Jersey had a big show, but it's a very okay. Outside of Nick Mondo, no, actually that. So Slim J versus Nick Mondo. Slim J is honestly probably he basically only wrestled in Georgia till he got signed by AEW. Mosh versus JC Ryder. Icarus versus Diablos Macrabe. Chino Martinez versus Trent Acid, and Nova. Okay, Nova and Julio Gennaro versus Joel Maximo and Rick Blade is probably a tag team match that could have happened in a 2006 Northeast Indy. But yeah, APW had a big show, 130 people. Scott Lost versus Super Dragon, Kazarian versus Jonathan Morgan. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, no other big shows, so there we are. So again, next show will be Superbrawl, hopefully on Friday. But that's for now. If you enjoyed the show, give it a like, comment below what liking and not liking to our channel for, well, mostly this at the moment. Maybe after the new year, I'll be able to get some new stuff. Maybe I'll get motivated and put up some basketball GM stuff or some Journey Wrestling stuff, or maybe another TEW 2020 series. Just depends on how much time I have and how much money I get it. But that's for all. That's it for now. So talk later, and adios. Have a good one.